Hi, my name's Michael Hingston from Jealous Craig. Welcome to number 9 Condor Street in Hawthorne East, a magnificent architecturally designed home. Come inside, we hope you enjoy the tour and we look forward to seeing you at one of our open for inspection soon.
If I can describe our architecture and the way that the process begins from the brief, it's probably very similar to the process of creating music, classical music, from the point of composition, the arrangement and the orchestration. One needs to be aware of creating both something that is technically possible by people that play that music, but also something that ultimately has a soul about it. Something that people appreciate both from a technical perspective as well as an emotional perspective. So when we were creating this house, we wanted to create something that was quite unique, not too offensive on the outside, but relatively high impact, so that a person that arrives at their home are relatively proud of where they're arriving. Once you arrive at the entrance point, you have a very high void, quite a large space. The staircase is not overwhelming. It was designed to be very simple and unique because it was supplemented. When you walk past the staircase, the cellar underneath the staircase lights up and greets you on the way in. Once you've made it past the cellar, you're greeted by quite a large, open, yet comfortable and cozy space, which is the living area. The kitchen within the same space needed to be very simple. It needed to be sculptural in the sense that it portrayed high caliber of architecture and attention to detail, but it also needed to be simple and non-offensive or overwhelming to that space. When you make your way to the living area, the large format sliding doors create this seamless transition between inside and outside. We've also thought about a poolside area, which one can relax and enjoy the poolside. It was interesting, at the time we were approached to design this particular home. I'd been traveling extensively through the United States. I have a certain liking for Art Deco as a style because Art Deco is not your cutting edge modern sort of design philosophy. It is embedded within a classical feel. And at the time it was a modern movement from a classical feel. So it embodies the classical design vocabulary, but also with a contemporary edge. It was quite a challenge to create all of those spaces. I mean, every room has its own ensuite. Every bedroom is essentially a suite in its own right. To be honest with you, I don't think it would have been possible without the assistance of Andrew from Building Under Construction. As a builder, it's one thing to build a home, but it's another to create artwork. The plans are essentially a canvas that we provide to the builders. When we try and portray our ideas, it's essentially just black and white lines on paper. But for a builder to have the ability to visualize and essentially get into our mind as to what it is we wanted to create and be able to create this home is actually quite phenomenal. I certainly believe that with his capability, his passion and attention to detail, he's got a lot of opportunities. We were very pleasantly surprised. Once the building was completed and we were satisfied with the level of finishes and the fixtures and fittings, then the next challenge came about, and that was, how do we style it so that it portrays the emotion we wanted to create? We ensured that the limited palette of finishes allow one in a similar form to creating a piece of classical music. The background needs to allow for the soloist to be able to paint that space. And in doing a very limited palette, you allow the stylist to be able to place the furniture and doesn't need to think about clash of colors too much or tastes. Our client, Elaine, is very talented in styling interiors, and she came about, and obviously working together, she achieved perfectly what it was that was needed for this house. In some cases, she even went further to have furniture designed and custom made for this space. All the fabric, all the colors, everything create this one united painting, which is essentially the feeling of this space and this house.